Okay, let's get started. The first question. If you see lines like this, they're all marked the same. That means they're the same length. Of course, we know. If they're all the same length, that's an equilateral. I am not going to be marking for spelling in this. If you get it close enough and I can read equilateral, you'll get the marks. If you wrote what? Yeah, that's fine. Equilateral. Second one is scalene. All different sides, and the third one has two equal sides, which is isosceles. Once again, spelling, not. So a mark for each, that's 3 marks. Next one, we're looking at time difference between two different times. This can be mildly tricky sometimes. I would be careful of AM and PM as well. These are at least 12 hours apart. So I'd say maybe do something like 12 hours will bring me to 8:30 p.m. And then we got 9:30, 10:30. 10:30 would be 14 hours. It's not, it's 10:20, so it's 10 minutes less. So that's going to be 13 hours, and 10 minutes less is 50 minutes. Okay, so the next one. Up until 3:45, then 4:45, 5:45, 6:45, 7:45. So that's the hours I'm doing there. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hours. You can probably just work that out in your head. So that's 5 hours anyway. Then how many minutes from 45 minutes to 57 minutes? I think the subtraction there would just give you 12 minutes. Okay, so 2 marks for each of those. Vincent, you okay? Sorry? There would be a 10 marks. Probably not for that one. Okay, this one is a compound shape. We've already split this one for you. You don't have to use my split. I know that this is 8 times 5 anyway for sure. So that's 40 is one area of this one. This entire length I have to find for this area. So there's 2 areas. 6 wide, and I think it's 10 high, because we got a 5 and a 5 here to make the 10. So this one is 6 times 10, that's 60. So we get a total of 100 centimeters squared for that first one. So we're 2 marks. Next one, I split it wherever I want. Yep.
Is it enough just to write like 60 like inside of the boxes? I mean, inside of the...
No, you'd have to add them, I'm afraid. So you get half marks. Get 1 out of 2. All right, so not really sure where to split this one. Let's just do it here. So I've now 2 areas. This one I know is 5 and 6. I got those in total. So that's 5 times 6 is that bit, 30. And now this one is definitely 10 high. I need to find out how wide it is. I know the whole thing is 9, and a bit of it is 4. Yes.
Do I still do the practices even though just the answers are coming out?
It's up to you.
But if you did another method, we still like that.
Yeah, no, it's different methods. It's fine. There's a number of ways you can split it. Okay. The answer for that one was 70. 70 centimeters. Okay, question 4. The picture shows a reflection. Which picture shows a reflection? So it's got to be the opposite way around. It's not this one. The last answer was 70, yeah. Okay. If you miss an answer, you can come back and watch this later, or ask a friend after the recording. Be good. All right, so I have to be careful. This one kind of looks like it, but it's 2 boxes, and this is 3 boxes. So make sure, I know it's a bit blurry, it'll come in a second. This is the one, D. That's perfect. 2 boxes away, every shape is reflected. D.
Like if you circle 2,
Yeah.
can you just like get 1 marks?
The general rule in maths, if you give 2 answers, they're both wrong, even if one of them's right. Okay, otherwise you give 2 answers every question, just in case. So they're both wrong. Okay, I feel like these type of questions are answered quite badly, and we'll definitely do them better in the actual test. describing transformations, you must start off with one of the 4 words: translation, reflection, rotation, or enlargement. You must use that first, and then you must add the details. So this first one is a translation. It's moved up, down, left, right. So this is a translation is the word we need. 1 mark for the word translation, and then 1 mark for the how far it's gone up, down, left, right. Now I'll use a vector. You can use up, down, left, right. I'll just pick a point that you know is in both. For translations, it's gone down 1, 2, 3, 4, and it's gone right 1, 2. So right 2, down 4. 2 minus 4. You could just write 2 or and 4 down if you want. I'll accept both. I prefer the vector because it's what you're going to use in the future. But up to you. 1 mark for each of those things. Now this one, first word I'm looking for, and hopefully you all saw it, is a rotation.
If you wrote in a sentence, you said it correct.
If you use the word rotation, it's fine.
Yeah.
Rotated is fine, yeah. Okay, so for rotation, you need the following bits of information. You need the degrees, you need the center, and you need the way it's gone, yes. Center and direction. Okay. Well, there's a few. That's fine. Okay, let's have a little look how you do it first. I know that some of you know the answer. How you do it? Okay, I would draw the object on my piece of tracing paper, draw the object, and put my dot. Well, I'm not sure yet. I'll put it at the origin, 0, 0, just to try it, and I rotate. Oh, it worked. Well, that's lucky. So my center must be 0, 0, so I can fill in center, 0, 0. Which way did I go? It's that way. That's not the way the clock goes, so that's anti-clockwise. Or counterclockwise. And how many degrees? Well, it was only a quarter turn, so that's 90 degrees. Now, if you have all those 3, you can give yourself the 2 marks. If you don't, if you've only word rotation and any 2 out of the 3, you give yourself a 1 mark. Okay, I'll take the questions now. Owen.
But doesn't it also show the center of rotation in the middle because it has a dot and
Yeah, it kind of has it there, but you need to say it. You need the key word here is fully describe. Fully describe. India?
Can you say like rotate 90? I said rotate 90 degrees counterclockwise. Yeah, 90.
Rotated 90 degrees anti-clockwise. What center did you say?
Sorry?
Did you say a center?
Yeah, center of rotation.
Yeah, that sounds like you have it all right. Yeah. You could say rotated 270 degrees clockwise if you want. Yeah, you get the same. Yeah. Rotation will work both ways. You just got it right. So if you did 270 the other way, that's fine. Hunter? Yeah, only 1 mark. So learn your lesson now. In the exam, you have to give all the details. James?
We will have a transparent paper.
You will have a transparent, and you should have had one for the practice. Yeah, Owen?
If we get all the details on one of them, that would be 2 points, right?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. 2 out of the 4. So there's 2 marks for each of those questions. All right. This is about adding up the angles of a triangle. I think hopefully we know 180 degrees is the total for a triangle, and 360 degrees is the total for a quadrilateral. So these have to add up to 180. So if I take away 62 and 39, now we had a calculator for this, so you can just pop it into the calculator if you want. 180 minus 62 minus 39, and you get 79. X is 79. There's 79 degrees left over for the first one. In the second one, do the same thing. Take away 59, take away 111, and take away 68. They're all going to be taken away, and we'll be left with our...
Do you have to put the working out in your answer?
No, because it's possible to do in your head, but... Oh, I typed that. I think you need to learn, if you type anything into a calculator, you need to write it down. Because otherwise you can just look at your partner's work and get the same answer, get their answer. So you have to have some sort of method, especially if it's stuff that you cannot work out in your head. Like if you use pi and stuff like that. This one, I suppose technically you could work it out in your head, but it'll be a bit difficult.
So next time I should write one.
Anything you type into the calculator, write on the paper what you typed in. So that's what I did. Okay, so that's 2 marks for each of those. Question 7, diagram shows a straight line intersecting 2 parallel lines. That's a transversal. If you want to turn your page this way, this often helps with transversals. We're used to looking at it this way. Well, this is the way it was done with the theory. And then maybe you can see more where our names of the types of angles come from. Anyway, value of P and value of Q. Don't need any reasons here, so just value of P. P is going to, well, these two have to add up to 180 because they are a straight line. So that's 110 because 70 plus 110. And then there's a number of ways you can do this. I know that this one will also be 110 because it corresponds to P here. You could use alternate exterior angles if you want, or you can just go 70 because that's a straight line again. There's loads of ways you could get it. Okay, so 70 and 110, 1 mark for each of those. And this one then is 50 for reasons of co-interior angles. 50 plus 130 have to add to 180. They're co-interior, so 2 marks for that second one. Okay, next one. Okay, so reflections. How do I reflect? Saw a few people had this backwards. I do it point by point. You should have time in the exam to do each point, or even a couple of points, and you get the hang of it. This one here is, according to me, about 6 millimeters away from the mirror. So its buddy must be 6 millimeters away from the mirror over here somewhere. So I'm doing it. I would try and get it as exact as possible. Well, I'll look at it and I'll measure a couple of them. If they're not equal, you'll lose a mark or 2, yeah. So take your time, measure it. If you can see the boxes, you can use the boxes, yeah. India? Not necessarily, because the photocopier. Imagine the boxes won't be more clear. So I'm doing, that was 2 centimeters on mine. This one is 2.4. Aiden, you need to look at this, what I'm doing. 2.4 centimeters here, so its buddy is 2.4 centimeters on the other side. 2.4, somewhere around here. Okay, that gives me the general shape of that side. I join that with that, and that with that. Okay, you can start making the shape then from here, maybe, if you just know that this one is 2 boxes, so 2 boxes up. And this one is 2 boxes, so 2 boxes across. I don't know if you can see that in yours, something like that. I'll probably reflect a couple more shapes or points just to make sure. This one is about, oh, that's 2.1 again. 2.1 here, so that's, keep the line as well. That's 2.1 over here, so around here. And the key thing is that when you look at your diagram, that it would fold over that and each corner would hit each corner. This one, then the last one I'm going to do, that's 2.1, and then 2.1 here. Okay. And finish it off. Make sure you have a ruler for this exam. There will be marks lost if it's done freehand. So something like that, you can mark yourself. 5 marks. Very, very, very generous 5 marks there. I think it's a typo, it should be 3, but anyway, we'll give you 5 marks if you got that right. It's part of the next question. The next question is 8 marks in total. So I'll tell you as we go. Okay. Draw the line of symmetry in this shape. I think when I looked at most people's, you had this right. Line of symmetry would go through here.
So does each question from this section have 2 marks?
I think there's 4 parts, yeah, so each one is 2 marks, yeah. So 2 marks for that line.
But if you do like a dotted line.
That's fine, yep. Dotted or heavy line, I'll accept. Write down the order of rotational symmetry, which seems to catch a lot of people out. So it's how many times if I stuck a pin in the middle of this, will it spin and hit the same position? You can use your tracing paper for this if you wish. So it's only rough work, so I can just do it freehand. I'm gonna draw that out. So you'll have tracing paper in the exam. I'm going to spin it just 360 degrees. So that's 90 degrees, 100, coming up to 180. 180 fits perfectly. So that's 1. And then when I hit 360, that's 2. 2 is the answer. 2.
So that means that.
Yeah, this page is out of 9. So that was worth 2 marks as well. So it spins twice and hits that position. Well,
You can just spin it once and you get the same. No, but you want to get the same point back.
yeah, you got to go 360 degrees. So how many times in 360? Every shape will have 1, order 1, because when you go back to the start, it's 1. So it's basically, is there another one, or is there 3 or 4 times? So maybe you can use the paper to help if you want. All right, this is a circle here, so it has to add fully up to 360, I think. Once again, I'm using my calculator. 360, take away 157, take away 72, and I'm left with whatever I need. $131. 2 marks for that. This one is a couple of ways of working out. You can use the exterior angle of a triangle is equal to these two added together if you want. If you didn't remember that one, you can find this angle and then know that these two add up to 180. Either way, you got to add these two or subtract them. 49 plus 54 is the answer, 103. These two are the alternate interior angles. Yeah. You could find this as 77 and then subtract it from 180 and you get the same answer. So, yeah.
Well, how many words is that?
2. 2 and 2. The other page is worth 2 and 2. Okay. Reflect this in the y-axis. Here's the y-axis. So it's going to end up somewhere over here. I have boxes this time, which is very helpful. That's each point. I'm going to move the same distance away in a straight line. So that's 2 boxes away. This one's 2 boxes away. This one's 4 boxes away. So 4 away from the mirror as well. In screen. And this one's 4 boxes away. Okay. And then just join your lines with the ruler. Okay, so that one's 3 marks, yeah. Nice and easy, 3 marks. Hopefully. I think I've explained that already a couple of times. That's worth 2, and the one above is worth 2, and then there's ones on the other page as well that are worth 2 each. Okay, write the coordinates or where these points are on this diagram. A is at 2, 2. 2 on X and 2 on Y. They meet here at 2, 2. B is at minus 2 on X and up 1 on Y. C is at 3 and 0. So 0. So over 3 on X and it's not up or down. You should just make a note for next time. It's just, it defines it as a point. Yes. 3, minus 3 and minus 2. Remember, X always comes first. So this line always comes first, the X-axis. And the last one is 5 minus 2. 5 on X minus 2 on Y. So that's 1 mark for each of those. And then you have to plot these 3. Yeah. 0, 1 is here, and it is F. minus 3 and minus 2 is here, and it is G. And H is 2 minus 2 here. Now, if you only put dots in, you get 0. That's it. You have to name which one's which. Otherwise, it's... You don't have to put the brackets, though. Vincent.
One question about what if they're all right, but one question wrong?
Each one was worth 1 mark, so
Oh.
7. Okay, so we got a rotation here. Rotate 180 degrees around coordinate 1 minus 1. All right, so 1 minus 1, first of all, 1 on x minus 1 is this point here. 1 minus 1. I'll draw in my sketch. And there's my center. 180 degrees. For 180 degrees, it doesn't say a direction because both are the same. I'll just go this way. That's 90 degrees that way. And this is 180. Okay, so you'll have a shape here. I put in the dots for the corners. Here and here. And then I finish it off with a ruler. Okay, so 3 marks for that. Okay. Question 13, find the value for x. Well, the one thing I know about angles of a triangle is that they should add up to 180. So, 7x plus 6x plus 5x equals 180. So it's an algebra question, kind of. So how many x's do I have? If I have 7, 6, and 5, I think I have 18 x's is equal to 180. So if 18 x's are 180, what must 1x be? 10. What's the size of the largest one of these angles then? It'll be the one that's 7 times x, which is 70. 2 and 2. Okay, calculate the area and perimeter of this shape. So the area is the space inside, and the perimeter is the distance around the outside. So you got to work off the area of a circle first, is pi r squared. I don't have a full circle though, I only have a quarter of a circle. Got to divide it by 4, my answer. I can divide it afterwards by 4 if I want.
If you do radius times times.
Of course, that's radius squared, yep. So the area then is pi times 8 squared, or 8 times 8, and then divide that answer by 4. Now I'll use my calculator again. I told you to use 3.14 for pi, so I'll do it myself. 3.14 times 8 times 8, if you don't like the square button, is 296, and then I divide that by 4, and I get 50.24, and that's the area. I'll put it down here. 50.24 centimeters squared. The perimeter then, we have to use the circumference of a circle, which is pi times the diameter, or pi times twice the radius, which is the one up there. The formula's up there if you ever need it. So C is then pi times 16. The diameter of this circle is going to be 16 because half of it, the radius, is 8. So pi times 16. And the same thing, I need to divide by 4. So 3.14 times 16, divide the answer by 4. I get 12.56, but that is only the curvy bit. That's 12.56. This from here to here, I need to add an 8 to get this bit and add another 8 to get this bit. That's the perimeter of the shape. So I add 16, 2 8s, and I get 28.56 centimeters for the perimeter. Maxim.
For the area, I just got 50 centimeters.
50?
Yeah.
Why did you round it? You lose a mark. You lose a mark. So I told you what to use for pi. 3.4. It should be exact. Yeah, because I've rounded it already for you. Okay. So this one, 3 different transformations that maps 2 onto 3. Now you don't have to match the points up, just the shape. So the 3, it can't be an enlargement, so there must be a translation. It must be a rotation. And it must be a reflection. Now, we need more than that. We need to describe, fully describe, which means I need all the details. So translation, I need to use up, down, left, or right. So I'll just pick a point, and I imagine it's moved 1, 2, 3, 4 to the right, and down 1, 2, 3, 4 down. So 4 right, 4 down is 4 minus 4, or 4 right, 4 down. Okay. That's translation. Rotation, you can get out your tracing paper again. I'll draw in this shape. I think the center looks like a good spot. If I turn around, yes, the center is a good spot. I found it. So rotation, 180 degrees, center, 0, 0. Okay. Next one, reflection. Where does it reflect? Well, you can double reflect it. You can reflect it here and then there. But instead, you can reflect it straight up through this diagonal straight line. So it's got to go through a diagonal straight line will work. So it goes through that. You don't need to draw that line. But what's that line called? Y equals X. Okay. 1 mark for each, and then if you got all 3, you get 4. So you get 2 out of 3, you only get 2 marks. 2 marks. Yeah. Okay, so fully describe again. Transformation, it's an enlargement. Okay, good start. If you wrote enlargement, you get 1 mark. The scale factor you can do from just counting the boxes. This one has 2 boxes here, and this one has 4. That's twice as big. So scale factor is 2. What was your sentence? Enlarge by a half? No, that's wrong. I'll accept Ingrid's. Yeah, that's okay. For a mark. Okay. And if you use the word enlargement, yeah. Yeah, that'll be 2 marks. Okay, we need the center as well. So we got to draw in our dotted lines. So notice what I'm doing. I pick the same point in each shape and just draw a line as far as the diagram goes. I do that for a few points. I'll do this one as well. Okay, and I'll do one more. It looks like it's meeting up here somewhere. I'll do this point as well. Okay, it is. It's meeting here. Okay, what's that? Center. It's 1, 2. Okay, you need all those 3 for 3 marks. India.
You said, like, what is having transportation that maps triangle?
Yeah, 1 mark off me for bad wording. Shape A to shape B, yeah. It's not a triangle, thank you, of course. Okay. All right, things are getting a bit trickier maybe now. Create a triangle. So you got to create your own triangle at the right spot. Okay, so if you manage to create the triangle correctly, you get a mark. 1 minus 1, that's here. 2 minus 3, that's here. And 1 minus 3, that's here. Okay, so I create my triangle. Join those. Oh, sorry. I'll move it up in a second. There you go. Create triangle A. So that's A. Make sure you call that A, otherwise we won't know which one you're saying is which. Okay. Next thing, translated by a vector 2, 6. So 2 is positive, so that means to the right. And 6 is positive, so that means up. So 2 boxes to the right. So I'll move 1 point. That goes 1, 2 to the right, and 6 up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ends up here. That point. You can just work off that 1 point then, because you know the other one's going to move the same. No. Okay, so there's B. Okay, reflect triangle B in the line x equal to 1. X equal to 1 is that you go to where x is 1 on its line, there, and that's the line that goes through there. So maybe drawing that line will help. That's the line x equals 1. So it reflects in that. So this point is 2 boxes away. So its buddy must be 2 boxes away over here. This point, 2 boxes away. And this point, 3 boxes, so 3 boxes away, and ends up like that. Draw in our lines. And that is C. There you go. Yes. How is it? The y-axis is parallel. Yeah, it's parallel to the y-axis. Yeah, but the y values would all be different here. X equal to 1. Every single point along this line has an x value of 1. That point is 1, 1. Vincent, you good? Thanks. This point is 1, 3. This point is 1, 4. So what do we know about? The only thing that's constant is the x value is 1 all along it. The x value is 1. The y value is constantly changing. Yeah, I know. And the y-axis has another name. It is called the line x equal to 0 as well. Because it goes through the x-axis at 0. Yeah. I know. It can be confusing, but yeah. That's why a lot of people refer to the y-axis as x equal to 0, because it actually makes more sense. But it just has the y numbers on it. All right, we're on the last page. 2 questions left. Create another triangle. Be interested to see how well people did in this one. Can you show me your diagrams? Can you just hand them up? Show them up. A few people have it. Yours is not the best. Yeah, I can see a few people looking promising. Yeah. And Jaya, Ella, India, Winston, Hunter. Yeah, from what I can see, Vincent, that looks a bit high. Anyway, we'll have a look. 2-1. First of all, 4-1, and 3-4. 3-4. There. Yep, here. Almost said in the wrong spot. All right, I'll draw that initial triangle. If you manage that much, that's a mark. Pretty good. Reflected in the mirror line x equals y, which is the same as y equals x. So I got to draw that mirror line to help me. I'll draw it pretty lightly. Okay, that's that line. So each point must be reflected in that. So I'm looking at this point. It's going to look at itself here. I'm using the boxes. They're pretty faint, but I think I got it. This point is a box and a half, so it looks at itself a box and a half the other side. This point is only half a box, so it looks here. So I did each point, looked at itself in the mirror, and you get here. That'll also be 1 mark, yeah. The enlargement is 2 marks. Okay, so this was A. This new one is B. And now I got to do an enlargement. Origin is the center, so that's here, center. Twice as big. B has got to move twice as far, so that's where I need my scale. Okay, so let's pick a point and let's move it twice as far away. Okay, so this point up here is 3.2 centimeters. Its buddy is going to be 6.4 centimeters. Because that's 3.2 times 2. So it's up here. India. Yeah. This one is at 1.2 8, so its buddy is going to be at 3.6, twice as far away, double the distance. And then the last one is this one over here. I'm drawing my dotted lines as I go here. I need to see those construction lines. This one's at 3.8 centimeters, double that. 3.8 is 7.6, I think. So if I keep my line going all the way to 7.6, that's around here. Okay, when I join those lines together, I should form. You're capable of it if you take your time. I don't think it's that hard, just doubling distances. And that's C. So up here somewhere, I'll give you a point just to check yours. Make sure the point 2.8 is this one up here. That's 2.8. Make sure that one is correct. Okay, and then the last, calculate the volume. Anyone get an answer here? The volume? Taya? What'd you get? 96. Hunter? 96. Winston? 96. Oh. A few 96s. Okay, there's a few ways to do it. Well, two main ways of doing it. This is a prism. So if I find the area of the front and just multiply it by the depth of it, 6, that will be its volume. Now you can split it up into two rectangles as well and do rectangular cuboids and just do length times width times height, whichever you want to do. I'll do it the way most of you probably did it. Did you split it here? And then use 2 shapes?
I did 3.
3 shapes?
I don't know why.
Okay.
I split it like that.
Okay, well this has a length, the bottom one has a length width height of 6 here, 6 here, and 2 high. I can use my calculator, but I think it's 72. All right, so that's the bottom one. The top bit has, well, this width is 2, the height is 2, and the length is 6. And I think that's 24. You add those together, and you get 96 centimeters cubed. Not too bad. Expect a more difficult one in the actual exam. All right, I actually haven't. I can't remember what the total is here. So add up your total. I'll add up the total. Stop the recording.